Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a special video on rock molds because I'll be having a lot of them in my layout. I've done my research, I've looked around, I've watched videos, and for me, I think this is personally the best way that I can go about doing this. I've seen videos on where other people have done plaster on the foam and then they carve out the rocks themselves. But for me, being pretty much new to this, what I decided to do was spend the extra money and buy rock molds. One, because it's fast and easy, and two, because it's realistic. Some of the rock molds look amazing when they've been painted. So these are some of the molds that I've bought so far. I'll definitely be buying more in the future for sure. But I'll show you the comparison between the ones that I've done recently and the ones that I've started painting. These are the ones that I've done for Chris, aka Go View or Go Home. These are all them that just came out of the mold and have dried. And I'll show you some of the ones that I've started painting. So these are 3 molds for the Beehive Cave that I'll now be referring to as the Beehive Cave. So far they have a diluted mix of stone gray and water with a light brown, I think it's burnt umber that I've used. And then I've used it over here as well. Same concept, stone gray, burnt umber. And then for my farmhouse, originally I had it just stone gray diluted in water, and it looked good, but I could have done more. I just wasn't really happy with the outcome that I had done with it. So over the last couple of days, I kept thinking. I'm like, how am I going to make this better? The one thing I thought about was I have a couple of colors at home. So what I did was just recently, just today actually, I went over all my molds with the burnt umber diluted in water, and I just kind of just patched it around just in random spots, and it makes the rocks pop a bit more than just the stone gray. So what I was thinking was, now that I've added my stone gray, my burnt umber, what I might do is come back over all the rocks with a weathering powder, because right where the lily pads and the watermelon patch are, sorry about that, is where I'm going to have a field. What I'm going to do is almost kind of make it look like when, you know, you're harvesting, you get all the dust from the combines and all that. So what I'm hoping I can make it do is have powder all over my rocks, and then have it almost like they just harvested, but no one's going to watch the rocks, obviously. So what I'm hoping to do is kind of weather my rocks here and use the weathering powder on these, because I'm hoping to have another field just on the other side of the water tower, right where it turns into my creek. So I've done the exact same thing here, burnt umber, stone gray, but I'll show you what I've done so far with my culverts. So these are the 2 culverts that I've built. I bought them on Otter Valley as well, and these are the 2 that I'm going to use into my creek bed. I had originally decided in my last video that I was going to have one of these coming into the creek and have almost like a little turtle habitat coming out of it. So what I decided to do was paint them and see what I could turn them into. This one here is just the stone gray diluted in water, and this one is the stone gray diluted in water covered with the burnt umber diluted in water. So what I might do for these is use the burnt umber on this and then cover both of them with the weathering powder, or I might use the yellow that I have as well and see what that looks like. But I'll show you what these look like in the bottles. That is the stone gray, sorry about the glare, the stone gray and the burnt umber. I bought these at Otter Valley, and I also have the black that I may use, and I also have my yellow downstairs. So I'm just trying to figure out how to use all the colors into my rock mold to bring them, almost make them more realistic. As you know, all the rocks definitely like age over time, and they get old, and there's always different colors on all these different rocks. So what I'm hoping I can do is make them more realistic, and then add, as you can see, right where the white lines are, those are my glue lines. And I painted them, and they just wouldn't stick. So what I'm going to do is add overgrowth on the white lines to just hide them. So what I'm hoping to do is have my hill along here to blend my culvert into, have my overgrowth go down the white lines to hide them, and have plants sticking up from my scenery to help hide them as well. And then from here, where my finger is, it's going to be painted black, but far enough back where I can add HO scale turtles. I'm hoping to have one here, here, and then have one coming out of the actual culvert itself. And then I might have one basking on either side of it. But I just wanted to show you quickly on how I'm doing my rock molds and the colors that I'm using so far. I hope you found this informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, everybody.